we've suffered from moral cowardice. We have, through mass immigration and through not checking the details of those people that have come to our countries, we have allowed big ghettos to develop, and when it comes to confronting tough issues, we run a mile. That is why we're in the mess that we're in. We've been led very badly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is former Congressman Tom Tancredo from Colorado, of course, former presidential candidate, author of In Mortal Danger, The Battle for America's Border and Security. Congressman, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to join you.
Great piece at WND.com. Yes, it's Islam. Let me start with what this gentleman, though, was talking about and what we're going to discuss a little bit here. Are you saying in your piece that the U.S. should stop immigration for all Muslims to the U.S.?
Yes. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, we have no sieve that we can run these people through in order to establish which ones are the acceptable immigrant and which is not. And here's what happens, even though we all know, and I totally realize, and all the hundreds of email observations I've received to the contrary, I know that there are plenty of Muslims who do not intend to do us harm. That's irrelevant, totally irrelevant to the situation we face. This is why. The gentleman that you just had, whose voice I heard but I could not see, who talked about being badly led, I'm assuming it was Britain, it sounded like an Englishman. Yes. And he indicated that they had developed huge ghettos in England. Certainly they have in France. And that's a problem. In and of itself, it's a problem, regardless of the individual makeup of the people there, because, of course, these huge ghettos, these huge communities, provide safe haven for the people who aren't not so nice. And not only that, it is a breeding ground for the homegrown terrorists that we see now far more prevalently in the United States and throughout Europe than we even see imported. So it's got to stop somewhere. And not only should we stop all immigration from Muslim countries, of Muslims, from anywhere actually, but we of course need to then look at the people who are here as resident aliens, who in fact support Sharia law, advance it themselves, and those people need to be deported because they are supporting something that is absolutely and totally contradictory with the Constitution of the United States. It is that you can't have two tracks, two laws, English common law and of course Sharia law. Won't work. Britain is finding it out. How long will it take us to, at a certain point, there's nothing else you can do. The population increases within those communities are so great that even if you stopped immigration now into France and England from Muslim countries and of Muslims, I do not know that you could save Western civilization, because that is exactly what we are trying to do, save Western civilization. We are in a conflict of civilizations. It is undeniable, and for people to suggest otherwise is just an exercise in naivety.
Why do you believe, or let me ask a different question. Do you believe that your recommendations, especially the first one that you alluded to here, and stopping the immigration of all Muslims to the United States, that there's any possibility that that would happen?
No. Well, certainly not in the foreseeable future, not without some horrendous event, which, God knows, I just assume not have that be the precipitating cause, but it's not going to happen, not with this Congress, not with this president. However, somebody has got to say it. Somebody has got to begin the debate on that. And I'm not suggesting I'm the person. I'm just saying it's got to start somewhere. These issues, these debates should occur. If I have to run again for something in order to get it to be discussed, I'll do it, whether it's president or Senate or whatever, because if we just keep ignoring this stuff, if we keep pretending and sticking our heads in the sand, we are doomed. This society, Western civilization, is doomed.
Well, I think certainly the the solutions, quote unquote, that were discussed today by President Obama at his press conference, the same old liberal, nonsensical garbage about providing economic opportunities for young Muslim men, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've seen doctors, we've seen lawyers, we've seen some very highly successful, intelligent Muslim people overseas turn to jihad and radical Islam. It's not that they're unemployed.
That's exactly right. I mean, even though when they do what they do here, he has a tendency, and the liberal media has a tendency to call it workplace violence. It is certainly not. It wasn't at Fort Hood. It is, but that goes to show you what we're dealing with here. It in a way, you know, it's fascinating to me, and it gets us off a tiny bit. But it's fascinating that the press has gone so bananas about what has happened in France, and with a magazine, and a million people marching and that sort of thing. Believe me, the left is just as intolerant, not what in the United States, not ready to kill somebody yet, but certainly will do everything short of that to stop people from speaking. I have been on college campuses when they threw bricks through the window, when they pulled the fire alarm so I can't speak. I've had to go in with bulletproof vests. I've had to have SWAT teams take me in, all because people were trying to stop me from speaking on college campuses. And I guarantee you,
it's insane. Let me ask you, Congressman, I'm sorry, before we go, no, that's insane, and I believe me, I'm well aware of that. Before we go, we got 30 seconds. Might you run for the presidency in 2016 to bring this issue to the forefront?
Yeah, certainly that is a distinct possibility if I can't get anyone else up there to actually bring it to the fore. How else can I do? I do not know how else to do this, and I don't know anyone else that
Congressman, will. I got to go. We'll keep in touch with you. Thank you, former Congressman Tom Tancredo, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And we are coming back with the former Presidential Detail Secret Service agent, Dan Bongino. But first, your Max to Health moment.
We all have had our own perceptions about yoga. For some, it sounds hippie-ish or something their kid would do, but to others, it's a way of life. Perceptions are not reality, and yoga, no matter what your age, has many medical benefits.
You're never too old to start yoga. It's better to start now than to never start at all. And when you start now and you start to gain your practice, you'll become more comfortable when you start doing your yoga practice, and you'll find your path. So there's all different types of yoga, and whatever you're looking for, whether it's gaining flexibility, to de-stressing, to moving from a centered place, or even gaining muscle tone. There's so many benefits to it.
Go at your own pace. Yoga can be done in a comfortable sitting position, standing up, or lying down. With the slow, gentle movements of yoga, you're able to stimulate and relax every part of the body and alleviate muscle and joint pain. There are also poses designed to improve your digestive system.